Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and today I wanted to talk about going on roller coasters or going to an amusement park with an ostomy. It was something that I was very worried about when I first got my ostomy. If you didn't know this, I love roller coasters. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I had such a fear that I could not go on them anymore because of my stoma. I was really worried about getting hurt or something happening to it. But this past weekend, we went to Dorney Park. It is kind of a smaller amusement park in the area, and I thought that I would bring you along. So I'm going to talk about some of my tips, and I will share a little bit of the day with you. So as someone living with an ileostomy, one of the first things that I do is I make sure that I hydrate and I take the medications that my doctor has told me to use to slow down my output. First, I really don't want my output going crazy because that is super annoying dealing with that at an amusement park when you're trying to have fun and not focus on where the bathroom is. But I also don't want to get dehydrated. So one of the medications my doctor has me take is called loperamide. So I took that the morning of a couple of times. I think I wound up taking 3 doses of it. I got up kind of early and started drinking my water, taking my medication. And the other thing that I do that I actually hear a lot of people avoid doing if they're going to do an activity with a stoma is I eat. I do not stop eating because I have something going on. I actually find that if I starve myself so my stoma won't be active, it's more active. It gurgles, my stomach is loud, and it's just annoying to deal with, and it's uncomfortable. I actually find that if I eat regularly, my stoma seems to behave much better. Zach and our other friend that came along with us were going to go to Wawa for breakfast, and I decided let's try not to eat too terribly because I know we're gonna go out to dinner and do things like that. So I actually ate before we left. I had a turkey sandwich. I knew that that would hold me over for a while and keep my ostomy behaving. Who's excited to go on roller coasters?
Woo!
Rough start to the morning. Rough start.
A very sad burrito.
The saddest burrito there ever was.
That was pretty much the whole thing. That took like one bite. You excited?
I'm excited. It's gonna be a long day, isn't it?
He's a kid at heart. He's excited.
He is a kid at heart. Also, right before we left, I packed all of my supplies. I put everything that I could possibly need. I took, extra ostomy supplies in case I had to do a full change. I have had to do a full change at an amusement park before, which is not fun, but it's possible. I've done it. I brought some of my little gelling sachets because I didn't want looser output bugging me on the rides. I find that if you're going to be going on loop roller coasters and ones that go all crazy and you have looser output, it just makes it more likely that it's going to slosh up and get around your stoma and make your bag leak. So I used the gelling sachets pretty much the whole day and they helped a ton. I also make sure that when I am packing my supplies, I put it in a bag that has a handle. So when I go in the restroom, I can hook the handle on the hook on the door. It really bugs me when bathrooms don't have that. And I put my supplies in the front pocket. So they're really accessible. I can just open it right up and it's very easy. I also like to check out their website ahead of time. I didn't need to. I've been to Dorney a number of times. I'm pretty familiar with all the ones around us and what they offer, but it can be really helpful to check out their website ahead of time. Also see if they have an app. You can check out the services that are available to you should you need them. I have utilized guest services to assist me when I was super sick one day at an amusement park. We went to Busch Gardens a number of years ago and I didn't know it, but I had a severe kidney infection that I wound up going to the ER for and was hospitalized for just a few weeks later. I had no idea. I thought I was having just intestinal problems, but they had a system where you didn't have to physically wait in line. You got a special band that was sort of like a fast pass, but you didn't get to skip the lines. You would go through the fast pass lane, talk to the attendant and they would say, come back at this time. So we could come back at that time, and it would be, however long they expected the line, however long you were expected to stand in the line, and then you would ride the ride. That made a huge difference. I'll tell you what, that was very helpful. Every park is different in what they offer, but it's definitely helpful to check them out online, know ahead of time, or if you feel comfortable going to guest services and just finding out when you're there. I used to get really, really worried going through security with my ostomy. It wasn't even so much my ostomy, but it was my bag that I brought with me that contained my supplies. I always feared them asking what they were. They're not looking in your bag to judge you on your ostomy supplies. They probably don't know what they are. So I would not even worry about that. And if they ask, just tell them it's medical supplies. That's all it is. But I used to get so worried about it, especially when I wore a protective belt. I don't bother with it anymore. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Once you get in the park though, grab a park map or use the phone app if that's, what they've got going on. Dorney does not have paper maps anymore. They just have the phone app. Figure out what your plan is for the day. We found that going earlier in the morning, we really did get to ride a lot more of the roller coasters. And then as the day went on, it got busier. So we did more of the smaller rides. But it'll also help you figure out where the bathrooms are. A lot of amusement parks have bathrooms kind of all over the place, so I did not have to worry about finding a bathroom. That was definitely easy to find. And also figure out if you need to get a locker. Now, Dorney does have lockers that you can keep your supplies in, your backpack, whatever you bring. Dorney is kind of unlike a lot of the other local parks in that they don't require you to get a locker. You can actually bring your backpack through the line with you to whatever coaster, and they have bins. I think a lot of places probably don't do that anymore because of liability. What if somebody steals your stuff? But I don't know who would want to steal my super old Vera Bradley backpack that I got probably 20 years ago at this point, and my ostomy supplies. That would be a very interesting steal. Typically, we just, walk over the coaster as we're about to get on. We put our stuff in the bins, and then we go sit down on the coaster and enjoy. We actually got to ride a number of different roller coasters, which is always fun. I love most roller coasters. There's a few that I really don't like, or I just don't find fun. Like at Six Flags Great Adventure, I don't ride King to Ka anymore because it's not very fun. It just blasts off and you go over a couple hills. I don't know. I don't like it. And they don't really make me feel that good. Things kind of turn black when I ride on those. And there's one at Dorney that I don't really like, so I actually skipped that one. Used it as an excuse to rest on a bench. Definitely skip out on the rides that you're not interested in. But Zach and our friend went on it, and I just recorded them coming down. It was cool. They enjoyed it. I don't know why. The ride it lifts you up and then you slide down a hill like that. That's all it is. And I rode it one time and it did not make me feel good. So I was like, all right, we're skipping this one. When it comes to actually riding a coaster with your stoma though, like I said, one of my biggest fears was something happening to my ostomy, something hurting my intestine. And as I have ridden many roller coasters since surgery, I've realized that the placement of my stoma is a bit higher. That's one thing to keep in mind, is that when you listen to other people and how they care for their stomas are all different. Stomas have different sizes. They are placed differently. Mine is kind of in line with where my belly button used to be. It's pretty high up on my stomach. Some people have it at their belt line. I would find that so annoying, but some people find the higher up ostomies annoying because it's harder to hide. But I don't care about that. But when it comes to coasters and the bars or the, the straps, I don't know what to call them. They don't seem to interfere with my ostomy at all. They don't press on it. The only thing that I make sure to do is I make sure that my bag is fairly empty throughout the day, just to make sure that it's not blowing up on a ride and then any little bit of pressure pops the bag. That would be very unfortunate. So that's really the only thing that I do. But when I first started riding coasters again and I just wasn't sure, I did wear a protective belt. It was a kind of a foam protective belt that lifted off of the stoma, so it allowed my output to come out the bottom but provided protection over it. So if anything pressed on me, I would be fine. It's the same belt that I wore when I played soccer. I don't bother with that anymore. I don't think it's necessary for me, but you might find it necessary based on the placement of your stoma and how comfortable you are. Also, I kind of mentioned this before with kind of skipping out on a ride that I wasn't interested in. Roller coasters really take the energy out of you. If you like roller coasters, you know, it'll wear you out and you need breaks from them. So we were using some of the more calm rides to just relax. We went on this really slow train. I mean, it took 20 minutes to go around. It was one of the more historical rides at Dorney, which was nice because we just sat, and also it started raining at that point, so we were covered. We went on the merry-go-round because that's just sitting and relaxing, but we're still like, we're giggling, you know, it's fun. So we did a number of rides like that just to relax and take a breather, because riding a roller coaster is exercise. It wears you down pretty quick. Plus, all the walking around the park is a lot. We had a really great time though, and I am very glad that after ostomy surgery, roller coasters were not taken away from me. They really, I love going on them. I love going to amusement parks. I've always enjoyed it. I don't know why. I'm one of those people who does not seem to get sick or nauseated when I'm going on a crazy roller coaster ride, but if you drive with 2 feet in an automatic, I will get car sick. Like, no. But I had a really great time, and it was kind of funny. We were walking by the bumper cars. We were talking about going on the bumper cars, and I think we must have gone to Dorney, I believe it was right before my kidney surgery. And I was feeling kind of rough that day too. I was counting down the days until I could get the ureter taken care of. And it made me very nauseated. The kidney, for whatever reason, I just felt nauseated with the issue I was having. And I almost threw up in a trash can outside of the bumper cars. So as we passed it this time, I was like, oh, look, there's the trash can I almost puked my guts out in. Oh, the memories. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy roller coasters, hopefully you feel a little more comfortable with your ostomy if you have one. If not, then, you know, if you're comfortable on them, go for it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.